Greetings and welcome to your special bulletin on this day of the African Child's Day with me, Andire Kanganjera, and my co-presenter, Salmi Amukwaya. It's a pleasure to have you with us. If the wind could carry the whispers of Africa's children, it would tell stories of hope, struggle, and dreams too powerful to be ignored. In the heart of Namibia, a sparsely populated country in sub-Saharan Africa, 3 young voices speak up about what they believe every child deserves.
Meet 14 years old Romeo Intamba, 13 years old Justina Nishindimbwa, and Cornelius Ununa, who is 12 years old. All city-based. They all come from different backgrounds, but they share one dream: a better life for all African children.
Children should be free in our country.
They have the right clean water. All children must have proper education services.
Every afternoon as Romeo is dropped off from school, his journey is not one filled with joy. Through the car window, he watches children his age digging through dustbin, searching for scraps of food.
I really don't think it's healthy for them. So I request of the Namibian leaders to help us to live our lives properly and safely. So these current situations that are happening around the world, I really think that children are not allowed to be kept outside just like that, just in the random world.
At just 13, Justina has felt fear more often than freedom. Hearing gunshots sometimes and seeing people hurt one another makes her feel unsafe in her own country, she says. She stresses that children walk a long distance with heavy buckets, sometimes falling ill from the water in it. This is not how children should live, she says.
To provide for the children that are suffering to get food and water to drink, and to provide for them schools.
Cornelius smiles when he talks of school, but that smile fades as he reflects on some of his peers, who he said often feel like they don't belong.
Because some of the kids at my school, they don't feel freely to feed in the people because they say they are too poor and the others are rich. So they must feel free to play with others and to fit in the group.
He also points to a bigger problem. Not all children attend school due to various circumstances. These 3 children says that if they had a chance to ask the country's leaders anything, they would not ask for toys nor treats, but rather justice and peace among other social virtues.
Children, if they are in a better shelter and then they are provided to school, they would think of what they would what they went through. So then they would try to help themselves and try to build a better future for themselves, and that will also level our government up because they are helping children live their new lives and etc.
Something must be done in this country because children are being kidnapped too much. A lot of them are being kidnapped. In some of the schools, they don't have enough classes to learn other kids. Some of them are sitting outside, some of them are inside. The government must build more schools and classes to help the kids learn better.
Romeo, Justina, and Cornelius are not just children. They are storytellers, truth tellers, and tomorrow's leaders. But today they are asking the world, and more specifically local leaders, to listen. Christian Martin, NBC News, Windhoek.
Namibia's constitution protects children's rights, such as the right to a name, nationality, and protection from economic exploitation. Broadly, the constitution explicitly guarantees the right to life. However, child murder statistics in Namibia tell the violation of such rights. In a span of just a few months into 2025, at least 6 children under the age of 7 were murdered.
Our lives matter, our voices count. We are children, not short children. fight for me. Am I next? We see you. We speak up and we stand strong.
In their still small voices, children are pleading for protection.
After what I heard, I felt like I'm not safe in Namibia.
On this day of the African child, children in Namibia, among others, remember others whose lives were cut short. 3-year-olds Rachel Boer and Emily Gabrielle, 5-year-old Ingrid Masdorp, 6-year-olds Ibraha Ngaruses, Raunicia Boer, and Roswins Fabiano, as well as 16-year-old Antonio Angelo Gamsep Abatsam. Nowadays, children follow news and get first-hand information on events that directly affect them. 8-year-old Rauna Jodi is one of them. Rauna says crime robs the little ones of their future.
I just want to say that I feel so sorry for them, and they could grow up even to be a doctor, teachers, or maybe even a president. I really feel so sorry for them.
I feel bad because their dreams, they have bright futures in front of them, ahead of them, and I feel bad for them. Imagine they are going through that pain as a child and getting kidnapped, not even going to see their futures, and yeah.
The children also extend their condolences to the families who lost children at the hands of criminal elements, while calling for action and justice on behalf of their peers.
I would like to tell the parents and the family that, guys, it's fine, don't worry. I know it's very sad that you lost your loved one. And I just want to say sorry for your loss, but I want justice for my friends, sisters, and brothers. Namibia protect all children as children must be loved.
The best parents, they try to protect, but it's not actually their fault. I hope they get caught because these things will never know if they are trying to catch another one today.
Meanwhile, in the Omosati region, since January this year, the police have recorded 36 rape cases. 26 of them involve children under the age of 13. Oslin Kwenani, NBC News, Windhoek.
Every morning before sunrise, 16-year-old Catherine Kambata walks nearly 1.3 kilometers to school through thorny bushland and wild animal tracks. Kambata is not just worried about her grades, but whether she'll make it safely to class. This is the daily journey of learners in Tsumkwe.
Kambata is a grade 10 learner at Tsumkwe Secondary School in the Ochosonjupa region and says it takes her about 40 minutes to reach school from home. She usually leaves home at 20 minutes past 6 and walks to school with her cousins.
Reaching school, I feel tired and sometimes I don't concentrate in class because I feel tired. During rainy seasons, I miss some classes because in the roads when it rains, like there's a lot of water in roads. Coming back to home, I have lunch and go back to school, and I have time to study and do all my works.
She also further added that after walking distance from school, she still has to do home chores. Another learner who also walked distance to school describes herself as slow, which makes her reach school late.
For me, I'm really a slow person. Sometimes, like it's really cold and it's in the morning it's really cold. Sometimes I'll like if maybe I've put an alarm and then it rings, I'll switch it off and sleep again. And sometimes I'll wake up the same time that the alarm rings and then prepare for school. And there are times that I get late because of that.
Jackie Matuka, who grew up dreaming to become a lawyer, said he changed his mind to become a politician. He explains his change of heart.
I had like this weird obsession for being a lawyer, but then as time goes by, we also learn new stuff. So my dream is to become a political scientist. The hobbies that I do at school, I'm a national debater, and I also do spelling bee. And mostly the thing that I love about school is how the teachers interact, the interaction with the learners.
He further stated that he advised the fellow learners to study hard since they are the future of tomorrow. Every child has a dream, and all they need to do is to ensure that they do not remain mere dreams.
I always dream of becoming a lecturer like somewhere they knew them and I always dream of maybe even writing books because I like reading. So I always dream of becoming an author.
The young son speaking girl also added that they still face challenges as marginalized learners. They are looked down on because they don't have opportunities like others. Travis Ducks, NBC News, Tsumkwe.
City of Windhoek Junior Mayor Milano Kohol spoke with enthusiasm on the need for children facilities in the city that will nurture them into bold African leaders.
Of course, definitely. The children are our future. We are the future of this country. We are the future of the city. And I often like to say that many people do say that we are the leaders of tomorrow, but I instead believe that we are the leaders of today. So I definitely believe, yes, we have to focus on youth activities, especially on youth homelessness, youth unemployment, which is still, unfortunately, a big problem in our city and country. But we have to focus on these issues as the youth are our future.
Gogo mentioned the College of the Arts, which provides musical instruments and choreography lessons, is one of the most productive facilities in the city. Safety of children when utilizing these facilities has also raised a hand. The city of Windhoek is implementing a project known as It's 10 p.m. Do You Know Where Your Child Is? Specifically focusing on the safety of children.
So safety is a huge thing that the Junior Council of this year will also consider and will also focus on. We have already made it clear, and we especially want to focus that children are back at home as well, back at home when they should be, and also that parents know where they are. And this specifically, we would like to actually implement a project known as the It's 10 p.m. Do You Know Where Your Child Is? So this is a project that will focus on the safety of children specifically and the youth of the city of Windhoek.
Gogol further said the project's focus is to keep children safe and create an opportunity for parents to know the whereabouts of their children. Gogol concluded with a memorable message to inspire the nation, urging the community to come together on African Child Day and cherish being African as a whole.
As children living and being born in Africa, we have to take leadership. We have to stand up, we have to help our country, we have to help our cities as well in this case, and we have to start raising concerns. We have to start reaching out to communities. We have to start to get more involved in our cities, in our communities, as previously said, just to make sure that we become active citizens which can make a brighter future together.
Natasha Schwarting, NBC Windhoek.
As a talented African child, Miss Teen Namibia Elaine Engelbrecht urged young people to chase their dreams with passion.
Engelbrecht describes her reign as Miss Teen as an empowering journey that gave her a platform to not only represent beauty, but also the purpose and impact it has had. She used the opportunity to connect with communities, uplift young girls, and speak on issues that matter, such as pregnancy among teenagers. Engelbrecht says her journey as Miss Teen said her reign taught her empathy and the importance of using her voice meaningfully as she carries the title with gratitude, knowing that it's just not a crown, but a responsibility. She says that confidence does not come from being perfect, but comes from knowing yourself and being okay with growing.
Always dream big. Like I said the first time, for all of the teens that I talk to and that I coach, I always say dream big. Your dreams are valid. Your voice is valid. You deserve it, you know. Work hard for your dreams. Don't let anyone tell you that you're not worth it, because you are. It's all about how you see it and how hard you work for it. Your mistakes don't define you. You know, as teens, you think this is truly a roller coaster. No one tells you it's okay to make mistakes. And it's a very tough time being a teen nowadays, especially with the expectations. I wouldn't say it's the same world growing up as our parents did, but it's okay to make mistakes and learn from them. It's about how you recover from them. And it's always better to try and fail and get up again than not trying at all.
Asked about her take on teen pregnancy, Engelbrecht said that it's a serious concern. She indicated that teenage pregnancy affects both a boy and a girl child as well as their parents, and something needs to be done as the numbers continue increasing. Ms. Dean mentioned that the government has thus far assisted children in terms of free education, however, there is need to do more.
Well, in Namibia, we still see a lot of abstract poverty and a lot of deaths of malnutrition, especially in the Omaheke region, shortages of schools. But, you know, for every good side, there's also a bad side. And I will definitely say our government has done a lot, even with the most recent project of 2026 free tertiary education. And because of the government, I'm standing here today, and they're one of the reasons that I have free will and freedom of speech. So I will definitely say they've done a lot, but there's always room for improvement.
30% out of 100,000 inhabitants in the Karas region are under the age of 15 years. As we commemorate the Day of the African Child, we are yet again reminded to prioritize children's needs.
The 2025 Day of the African Child is being commemorated under the theme Planning and Budgeting for the Children's Rights and Progress since 2010. A befitting theme as the Namibian government continues to encourage prioritizing children's needs and ensuring they grow and reach their full potential. We are at the MBC Southern Regional Office in Keetmanshoop. Earlier today, we took to the streets of Keetmanshoop and spoke to a few young people about the importance on the African Child Day. Thank you so much for joining me today. What would you say does this day mean to you?
I think the African Child Day reminds us that every child deserves the chance to thrive regardless of their background or circumstances.
What would you say are some of the challenges the youth faces today?
Smoking is a big issue in the Klaras region or in Keetmans. I've observed that a lot of the youth are at risk of falling into addiction, especially a truth addiction or nicotine addiction, because of their smoking.
Today, joining me here in the studio is Kaylin Mungunda. Thank you so much for joining me here today. So, what would you say does the African Child Day mean to you?
When I think about the African Child Day, I'm being brought into remembrance about the courage that those young people had, being able to protest about the education in the future, not only for them but also for us, which then brings a sense of warmth.
So, what would you say are the challenges the youth faces today?
I'd say a main problem faced in Namibia overall is human trafficking, whereas this spreads rapidly throughout Namibia. This has been a problem that started way back, but since we know that the main incident took place in Okahanya, but it's not just Okahanya, this has been going on for years and nothing has been done about it, not that we see.
Thank you so much for joining me today. That was Kaylin Mungunda. Also joining me here in studio today is Mr. Christy Hansen here to talk about this day. Thank you so much for coming, sir. What would you say does this African Child Day mean to you?
It's a day that we can all use to be empowered by what happened in the year of 1976, where the youth really stood up for their education and where they wanted better education in the country.
So what would you say are some of the challenges the youth faces today?
There are many challenges the youth faces in this modern Namibia, but what the biggest problems I truly believe is the involvement. I feel like youth are not really involved in the decision making in Namibia, and also I feel like there's no information being shared to the youth. Like the government has government policies where they introduce new and innovative ways to inform the youth. I strongly believe that they need to find ways of modern ways to inform the youth about these things.
As we commemorate this special day, let us be reminded that children have rights, and protecting these rights are not just the responsibility of the government, but a collective responsibility to ensure that children grow to become productive citizens and contribute to the growth of the society.
The Directorate of Education in the Kavango East region longs for establishment of a resource school to help cater for children living with disabilities. This will help improve the teaching and learning process for better results.
While Namibia has committed to providing education for children living with disabilities through policies and initiatives, ongoing efforts are required to overcome resource constraints and enhance teacher training. The Directorate has made provision for inclusiveness of learners with special needs by placing them in the special units attached to the mainstream school.
This special unit are at Dr. Kampungu Secondary School, consists of visually impaired learners with learning difficulties and basic pre-vocational skills. At Andreas Kanjimi, we have hearing impaired, basic pre-vocational skills for hearing impaired only. Maria Mwangere caters for hearing impaired learners at secondary level, and these learners are in the mainstream together with the other learners. So they are taught in the same classroom, but the only difference is that they are assisted by the interpreter, while the teacher teaches for everybody in the class. We will also inclusiveness for learners with visual impaired in the mainstream at Dr. Mas Kampungu Secondary School. We also have special units for learning difficulties at Homba Sophia Mjembwe Primary School at Kehemu, as well as Mamangandu Primary School at Shambi.
Statistics shows that the number of learners enrolled varies each year. In 2023, about 261 learners were enrolled. An increase of 54 learners was recorded last year, totaling 315 learners, and the number dropped to 274 this year, showing a decrease with 41 learners. Overcrowded classrooms is one of the challenges faced.
The classes are supposed to be enrollment is supposed to be only 8 learners, minimum 8 learners per class, and the maximum is of 15. But now the learners are many there. There are more than 30 in the class. So learners with learning difficulty, sometimes they remain in the class. They are stagnant because there's no way we can send them. Sometimes they stay there for 5 years in the same class, repeating over and over again. Because initially, when we started with the classes for learning difficulties, the learners supposed to receive learning support with the aim of for them to improve. After improving, then they move back to the mainstream.
Despite challenges faced, both they encourage parents to enroll their children and not to keep them at home. Menam Aushiku, NBC News, Rundu.
As Namibia commemorates the Day of African Child, the day serves as a poignant reminder of both hopes and challenges confronting the continent's youngest generation. Our news reporter, Melanie Simon, and camera operator, Eslon Jaipa, took the streets of Keetmanshoop to explore issues affecting the youth.
Today, joining me here in the studio is Kailan Mungunda. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, what does the African Child Day mean to you?
When I think about this day, I'm being brought into remembrance about the courageous young people that actually went and protested about their education, about the future as well, not just theirs, but ours as well, which then brings a sense of warmth.
So, what would you say are some of the challenges the youth faces today?
A main problem that is being faced today is child trafficking. This issue has been spreading rapidly throughout Namibia, where mostly women falls as victims under this issue.
So, what would you say are some of the solutions that the government can do about the trafficking issue in Namibia?
I think that building a shelter, what I mean by this is a safe place for victims, for people that went through child trafficking, a place where they can get the mental and the physical support that they need, as well as medical, where we as Namibians can stand together, helping one another where we can. Not only that, but whereas we can actually see the authority of Namibia doing what they need to do, because all we are hearing is we're just hearing what they're saying, but we don't see any action behind what they are saying. We need to see people being taken captive. We need to see people being arrested for what they did. We need to see people taking accountability for what they did.
Thank you so much, Kaylin Mungunda, for joining me today. And that was her and her insight on the day. Also joining me here in studio today is Mr. Christy Hansen, here to talk about this day. Thank you so much for coming, sir. What would you say does this African Child Day mean to you?
It's a day that we can all use to be empowered by what happened in the year of 1976, where the youth really stood up for their education and where they wanted better education in the country.
So, what would you say are some of the challenges the youth faces today?
There are many challenges the youth faces in this modern Namibia, but what the biggest problems I truly believe is the involvement. I feel like youth are not really involved in the decision making in Namibia, and also I feel like there's no information being shared to the youth.
So, what would you say are some of the solutions the government can do about this decision making problem in Karas?
Um, like the government has government policies where they introduce new and innovative ways to inform the youth. I strongly believe that they need to find ways of modern ways to inform the youth about these things. Platforms such as Instagram are platforms that the youth uses to communicate. Now, you cannot advertise something on Facebook and expect the youth to get that information. So they need to start finding ways, more ways to market their things so that the youth can be informed.
Okay, thank you so much for joining me, Christy Hansa. It was Christy Hansa also joining us today, sharing his insight on the African Child Day. As we commemorate this special day, let us be reminded that children have rights, and protecting these rights are not just the responsibility of the government, but a collective responsibility to ensure that children grow to become productive citizens and contribute to the growth of the society.
That concludes this special Kiddies Bulletin from myself, Andile Kanganjera, Salmi Amkwaya, and the entire team. It's goodbye.